Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. It's great to see you all. And I'm very excited to share this month's Zoom In to Dreams, a bite-sized aspect of dreams. And this month, we're going to be looking at colors. This is a monthly mini dream workshop helping you to understand your own dreams. If you're watching this on YouTube, then a very warm welcome to you as well. And if you enjoy today's session, please like and subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified of more videos like this. It's an interactive session, so if you have any questions, then please raise your Zoom hand or type your question in the chat, and Leanne is very kindly coordinating these as we go along, so thank you very much, Leanne, for that. And if you're watching on YouTube, then you can always post your question in the comments and I will get back to you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ollie, and I'm a holistic counselor and healer. And one of the ways I help people to move forwards in their life is through their dreams. My passion for dreams started in 2018. I've been studying the work of several dream teachers since then, and in particular, Michael Sheridan, who I regard as an extremely talented and gifted dream interpreter. Well worth looking him up. He has a podcast on YouTube and has his own website, dream-analysis.com. So a lot of what we'll cover today is from his work and his teacher before him, George Radigan. So without further ado, let's dive in and find out how colors can help us understand our dreams. So we're already connected to many of the meanings of colors through our everyday language. So for example, you might say, I'm green with envy, or I'm feeling blue, or there's red with anger. We associate pink with love, white with purity or perfection, or having a gray area as not really sure about something. So we're going to be looking at the basics of dream interpretation just to start things off. And once we've taken a look at some basic rules there, we'll take a look at the meanings of positive versus negative colors, and how we can identify those in a dream. We'll have a quick overview of the colors. Now, this is a big topic, colors. We can get so much information from it. So we're only going to be able to look at a few pieces of the color puzzle in these 20 minutes that we've got, or half an hour that we've got. So if you've got a question, then please ask if you've got other colors that have appeared in your dreams that we don't cover today, and I will get back to you. And then we'll try some dreams. So that's what we're going to do in our session today. So dreams offer us guidance and healing, and color often features in that, but we tend to sabotage that. We tend to change the dream negatively if we don't like the message, and that's our subconscious. The basic interpretation rules, which is always good just to remind ourselves of, is that you are everything in the dream, or some aspect of you is everything in the dream. Symbols are linked in a chain of cause and effect. So we should be able to link the symbols to the theme of the dream. And you're responsible for whatever happens or will happen in the dream. So if you come across a roadblock, then it's not you being blocked by an external force or something. It's you blocking yourself somehow from achieving your goals and driving forwards. And if you're trying to avoid anything in a dream, then that's what you need to face. And that is going to be the way forward for you to grow. And a good example of that is I had a dream a couple of years ago, and I remember it vividly, where I was in a garden hiding. It was dark. I was hiding from the police. So those of you who know that the police represent guides, probably having a little chuckle there, and the guides are probably having a little chuckle at me as well. Hopefully I'm happy with their presence now. Great. So let's take a look at a few other dream interpretation useful tools. The location or setting is really important, and that's going to often reveal the subject matter of the dream and the dreamer's state of consciousness in relation to that subject matter. the dream title is also a big clue. So if you can get a title for your dream, whether it's your dream or somebody else's, that's going to give you some clues. Then we can focus on colors. And colors are a great way to interpret dreams, or the main message of the dream, because they don't change their meanings from one person to the next. Now, normal symbols can change their meanings if you have a personal association with a symbol. So great, colors are always the same, whether you're from Mongolia or whether you're from South Africa or the UK, they're going to be the same. And we would look for symbols that support the color in the interpretation. And sometimes we can actually interpret a dream just by looking at the colors. And we'll actually have one of those today. So they don't change their meaning. They're based on the human aura and chakras of the emotional body. And those are the colored centers and the energy centers that we have. One thing to ask yourself is, where is the color situated in the dream? Is it above eye level, in which case it's something to look up to strive for? Or is it underfoot? Is it something you need to overcome or eliminate? And finally, people who think they don't dream in color often start to dream in color when they realize that colors are important. So let's have a look at positive versus negative colors. So bright shades, pastels, are always positive, and they're going to be positive symbols of healing and guidance. And if helpful characters come wearing these colors, then that's going to be asking you to develop certain emotions or attitudes, because clothing is about attitudes. If we've got these bright shades and pastels worn by guides, those are our spiritual helpers, then, and we can always tell a guide because they've got a title, they're in a position of authority, then the guide is saying, this is your spiritual gift that you're being asked to develop. And a lot of these colors tie in with spiritual gifts. So for example, pink and green, we can see here, if worn by a guide, is asking us to develop our counseling ability. We'll see what the meaning of green and pink is to back that up in just a minute. So then we have dark shades and combinations with black. These are going to reveal your fears, whether conscious or subconscious, about the healing or guidance that the dream is delivering to you. If they're worn by male characters, then it's attributes that you picked up from your father, most likely, because your father is the most important male character in your life. If it's worn, if this dark shades or combinations are worn by a female character, then it's going to be some kind of attributes or conditioning that you picked up from mother. And this would have happened at a very, very early stage in your life. So they reveal your fears. And great. So bit of a busy slide here, and we're not going to look at everything here because we haven't got time, but I wanted to put it up so that you could get an overview of the two sort of modes of colors in dreams, for guidance and for healing. And colors will often do both. If the dream is health related, then we would look at the therapeutic property of each color in the healing column to understand what healing is taking place. And if it's guidance, then we've got the other column. Okay, so one of the most common colors is white. And if this is the only color in the dream, then it usually indicates that the dreamer strives for perfection too much. They end up being self-critical because they're never reaching that high level that they set themselves. And often they'll be critical of others as well because they don't reach the high levels that they expect. They often will have a controlling nature to try and control things to make them as perfect as possible. So white here on its own can be a negative color, but when it's mixed or present with another color, then white refines that color's meaning and it's healing. So offering hope and confidence, which is what white does. So for example, if you see navy blue with white in a dream, then the navy blue is a dark blue. So we've got a negative philosophy of life. because the black will impact the blue, but the white is healing for that. And it's the dream trying to heal that negative philosophy of life or a negative attitude towards the subject matter of the dream. Okay, great. So we haven't gone through everything there, but let's just go on to some dreams, and we'll be using some of these in those dreams. Our first dream is called Red and Gold Fur Coat, and it's from Michael Sheridan's Dream Interpretation podcast from a few years back. What have we got? Well, we got a title first, and the title, before we actually do anything, the title will tell us that red is about joy and passion, and gold is healing. The fur coat, however, is protection. We don't like to see coats in dreams, although the dreamer has this outward display of being joyful, even though on the inside, perhaps that's not the case. So just from the title and these two colors, we can see, to start with, some hints and some clues about the dream. Here's the dream. Teachers at a school were having a Christmas party and handing out presents to little children. I looked over and I saw that my beautiful red and gold fur coat was being squashed under a stack of presents. I gave the teacher a dirty look and retrieved it, fluffing it up and hanging it out nicely on the back of a chair. Where are we? So, location. We're at a school. So the dreamer is looking to improve herself and learning something about herself to improve herself. And that's the subject matter of this dream. We see teachers, and from that we can see that the dreamer is a spiritual leader. And we go into gifts in another presentation, another workshop that we've done a couple of months back. I'll put a link in the description box for that if you want to go and check that out. So the dreamer is a spiritual leader. And what is a spiritual leader? It's someone who empowers others with an open and compassionate heart so that they can help themselves to heal and achieve their life purpose. It's not some sort of dude in a church, doing all the religious stuff. That's not it. It's about someone who can empower somebody to solve their own problems. We've got a Christmas party and handing out presents. So a Christmas party Christmas is about the birth of Christ. You are everything in a dream. So this is about your birth. And where we see your birth here, it's often going to be accompanied by gifts that you brought with you from the spirit world to the earth. And we can see that because presents are being handed out. Those are your gifts. However, the red and gold fur coat has been squashed. So something at the start of the dreamer's life impacted her sense of joy. The red has been squashed. So she ends up protecting herself, fur coat, with an outward joyful demeanor. And that's the red fur coat. And the gold in this dream is actually trying to heal that. And it also indicates that the dreamer has got a healing ability as well. So red and gold in this one. Let's go on to the next. The dean in cream on the green. Immediately from the title, what have we got? Cream and green. So cream is all about acceptance and tolerance. Green is about healing by sharing your feelings and emotions. So this is saying that the dreamer needs to be tolerant of somebody and heal so that they can become more open. And we have a dean here. Now, a dean is a spiritual leader, an authority figure. So again, we can see that this dreamer is a spiritual leader, has that gift. Let's go to the dream. I'm walking in a rose garden on the Harvard University campus, which is pictured. I'm not wearing shoes and feel the grass beneath my feet. Across the lawn from the garden, I see a female dean of the university walking with an entourage of men. She is wearing a cream-colored suit and very high-heeled shoes. Her hair is blonde and tied back into a bun. She walks across the lawn towards me with the entourage. Okay, so what can this mean? Well, let's take a look at the location first. Where are we? Well, yep, we're at university. University is about higher education. So this is about the dreamer's higher side, about her spiritual side. So we have a theme of the dream. She can feel the grass beneath her feet. Now, this is one of the nuances of dreams that we've got to look out for. Sometimes colors can be implied by something in the dream. So grass is always green. So we know we have the color green. So the dreamer needs to heal by sharing her feelings and emotions. We see the female dean. She's wearing a cream-colored suit. So this is about the need for tolerance of some female who is the head of the dreamer's life. Who could that be? Well, of course, the most important female character in most people's lives is going to be mom. So this is about being tolerant of mum. We can see that her hair is blonde. The dean's hair is blonde. Now, blonde hair is often, you'll often see that, you'll often see your guides with blonde hair. It kind of represents, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it represents purity of thought. And so blonde, red hair are often are guides. They're also very tall, and guides will often be in positions of authority, which we see here because we have the dean. But the hair is tied back into a bun. So hair is about thoughts because they come out of your hair, your head. I wouldn't know about that. And so the dreamer is restricting her guide-like thinking, i.e. her higher thinking. And she needs to free her thinking, which originated from issues with her mother. We also see an entourage of men. So the dreamer is too male. Perhaps that means too rational or too controlling, which are all masculine aspects. And she needs to open her heart and share her feelings. And finally, we see that she's not wearing shoes. Now, that's not a good thing to see in a dream. It's telling us that the dreamer is at the moment not equipped, or at the point of dreaming the dream, she's not equipped to move forwards in life. She needs to do something about this. In other words, she needs to work on issues surrounding her mom so that she can develop tolerance, letting go, and forgiveness. And there we have this dream. Let's go into the next one. How are we doing for time? Cool. The tattoo. The tattoo, right. Well, again, the title, the tattoo. Well, this tattoo is a very pretty tattoo that was like blue and purple and cloudy, and it was so pretty I couldn't look away. So we've got blue and purple straight off the bat. And blue is about spiritual expression or philosophy of life. It's to do with the throat chakra, which is all about communication. So it's about expressing ourselves. And purple is about spiritual leadership, and that comes from the crown chakra, which is purple. And also you'll see religious leaders, like in the Catholic Church, wearing purple. The higher up they are, they can wear more purple. So the tattoo here is a spiritual contract. It's kind of like it's indelibly etched into your earthly identity, just like your spiritual contract for what you planned and agreed on before you came to Earth. And so if we put these things together, when you have blue with another color, it asks you to put what the other color represents into your philosophy of life. So blue and purple means the dreamer should bring in the idea that they are a spiritual leadership, bring that into their philosophy of life, to accept that they are a spiritual leader, empowering others with an open and compassionate heart to help themselves to heal and achieve their life purpose. And this is a tattoo. So it's been emphasized here that this gift is an important part of their life purpose, which will help them to grow and progress while here on Earth. So just from a very, very short dream involving blue, purple, and a tattoo, we get a lot of information. All right, okay. Plowing on, the grey wedding dress. think we might be able to just get, yeah, we'll be able to squeeze the next 2 in. Here we go. So, grey. Oh dear, grey. Well, grey is an uncertain or uncommitted kind of area, isn't it? A grey area. So what do we have? I'm looking into my fiance's room as she tries on her wedding dress. I'm surprised to see that the dress is a shade of grey with a red border. Now, this is actually from George Radigan's book, Dreams, Secret Language of the Soul, which is out of print now. I think I managed to grab the last one from somewhere, which was signed, actually, which is rather cool. But the dreamer was actually about to be married. So we see that it's about her fiance, his fiance, and so because she appears in the dream, it's about his relationship and his feelings towards her. Now remember that everything is an aspect of us in the dream, so it's not about her feelings towards the male dreamer. It's about him and how he feels. And we've got grey, a grey dress. So he's uncertain, he's uncommitted. It's a grey area. Now red, so we've got fiance, we've got grey, we've got a red border. Now red is an exciting color. It's an energizing color. It's for joy and passion. But in this case, it's just borderline. So it kind of goes with the grey. But the dream is saying, yeah, your joy and passion for going ahead with this marriage is borderline and uncertain. The grey can also indicate a denial of emotion. So where does this come from? How can the dreamer move forward? The dreamer can move forward because this will be about conditioning picked up from his mother. That's part of the reason why his fiancée was chosen here. He will need to work on a feminine energy aspect to open his heart, and that will then bring forth his ability to express his feelings and actually feel the joy, feel the love, feel the passion for his fiancée. One more. Birds on the back seat. And of course, if you've got any questions at the end, then please just pop them into the chat or into the YouTube comments, and I will get back to you on them. So what have we got? We've got birds. Now, birds are about goals because you look up to them. They fly overhead. And when we have a look at this, what have we got? We've got, I was sitting on the back seat of my car and I'm watching two birds. They're in the car with me, free and not in a cage. They're jumping all around. One is red and white, the other is black and white. They take turns chasing each other and pecking on each other. We are in a car, and cars are all about striving to achieve goals, driving forward. And that's mirrored with the birds as well. So we've got two symbols which back each other up. The location is the back seat. So I've got two birds, I've got the back seat. And that means the dreamer is taking a back seat when it comes to her goals. Now, why is this? We see black and white. So one of them is black and black and white's not a good color combination to see in a dream because it's telling us that the dreamer has a black and white attitude when it comes to the subject matter of the dream. In this case, when it comes to her goals, she has a black and white attitude. However, the dream is injecting some red and white is a fantastic color combination to see in a dream. It restores joy and hope. So it's a healing that's actually going on in the dream as the dreamer dreams it. Oopsie, go back again. Right, so what have we got here? So the dreamer knows what her goals are and now needs to start using them. She needs to start using them on her journey, free them. She says, free the birds, not in the cage, and get into the driving seat, not on the back seat, get into the driver's seat. And the red and white asks the dreamer to have joy and hope for the future, rather than maintaining a judgmental attitude, that's the black and white. And it's okay to expect good things to happen in the future. Fabulous. So there we go, colors in dreams. And colors offer us guidance and healing. Colors are often used for both at the same time. They're based on the human aura and chakras. Top interpretation tools: title, location, and then colors. They should all tie together. And if you have a dream that you need help with or want help understanding, then you're most welcome to visit my website, which is oliverwedgwood.com, where you can submit your dream and we can take it from there and start the conversation. So I hope you enjoyed that quick zoom through colors, such a big topic. And if you've got any questions now, then you can ask now. And maybe Leanne has, I don't know if you've seen any questions come in, Leanne, at all?
Yeah, I have. And Helena says, thanks, that was amazing. So she says, thanks, Ollie. So
Oh,
thanks,
thanks,
Helena, for
Helena.
that.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
One of the questions that came in a little earlier was, can you explain what guides are?
Right. So guides are our spiritual helpers. When we come to Earth, we have made a plan, and we've been planning that for ages in the spirit world before we come here. And we have a lot of helpers there to help us plan that. And part of that plan is to have some high vibrational beings, some people call them angelic guides, who will help us. Now, we can't see them necessarily, not many people can see them, although you can train yourself to see them. And they will not step beyond your free will. So then they'll always respect your free will. And that's a fundamental rule of the universe. But they will try and do a little tweak here and a little tweak there and just give us a little hint. Maybe a tune will pop in your mind one day, and that tune has actually got some lyrics that are meaningful in the context of your life at that point. So we have a team of guides. I actually met my guides in a dream about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was just like, well, I was just on cloud nine for about a week. And there's a lot of them. I mean, there were like 9 or 10, and it was like, yowzers. I never knew there were so many. So there are lots around us helping us all the way through our life, 24/7. And you can always ask them, ask for help, because they're not going to just do something and step on your free will. So ask all the time and just look out for signs and what might happen. Hope that helps a bit with that question.
Thank you. Also, we have a question. I dream in black and white. Should I be worried? And can I change this?
No, you don't need to worry if you're dreaming black and white. And as you perhaps focus on your dreams more and more, then, and after this presentation, and perhaps you've got another a sort of deeper understanding of color and how important they are, you might find you start dreaming on the occasional color. Now, for example, in my dreams, I tend to dream of a color perhaps in every 6 or 7 dreams. So it's, for some people, it's color all the time. Some people, it's just color every now and then. You don't need to worry. The dreams content itself will tell you everything you need to know in going forward. So I hope that helps a bit.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Great.
Thank you. And we've got another question. How do I know if a dream is health related?
Yes, because we had, yes, just moving back to the slide where we've got all the colors. There we go, that one there. And we've got the healing there. So if a dream is health related, then we would look at the therapeutic property of the color to understand what healing is taking place. So how do we know when it's health related? We would be looking for some solid objects which maybe are damaged in some way, or perhaps in a poor state of repair. Or you might have an elimination type dream involving toilets and that kind of thing, which will be about the elimination system. You might have digestion symbols or food that's making an entrance into the dream. So those are sort of 3 ways that you can kind of get an idea of how a dream can be really talking about the physical aspect of your health. And of course, your physical aspect of your health will always be impacted by what's happening in your life on an emotional and a feeling and a mind level, because our mind and bodies are connected, of course. And when our mind or bodies are, so when our mind or emotions are out of whack, then that's going to impact on our dreams, on our bodies. So you'll often get two in a dream. If you're going to have a health related dream, it's going to be telling you what's caused it, maybe some conditioning from mother that's given you a critical attitude, self-critical attitude, and this is going to impact you negatively in your digestion, which is a very common thing to happen. And that, if it's not happening now, it would happen in the future if you continue on that path. Hope that helps with that question.
I think so. And one last question that also came in a little earlier was dark brown. I know you've got brown as practical and grounded, but what about dark brown?
Yeah, so so brown is about being grounded to the earth, about the earthly nature that we are in, being practical and seeing things as practical. But if it's dark brown, that means that fear has played a part in that color. And so it's really a fear of not having enough on the earth plane, a fear of not having enough money, or and that a person who dreams of dark brown will often be too materialistic, and that comes from fear, a fear of loss or not having enough. So the other flip side of that is, because they are so focused on earthly material things, that is at the expense of their spiritual development. So it's often actually indicates a denial of spirituality as well. And you'll often see that with people who are very much in the earth and they're making loads of money or whatever they're doing. And spirituality, what? No, you've got to be crazy. So they kind of go together like that. Hope that helps with that one. Okay. Any other questions?
That's it.
That's it. Fantastic. Well, listen, so thank you so much, everyone, for coming along to this mini dreams workshop. I wish you all the best, and I will catch you next month for the next dreams mini workshop. I'll catch you soon. Take care, everybody.